All right, everybody. My name is Michael or Kubera because I am so used to seeing my other channel name because I've been daily live streaming on there, and I decided why not? Let's do a daily live stream in the future on Kubera. But for right now, it has been well over 2 years, if I stand to be corrected, that we've live streamed on this channel. So let's just see if it works because usually I don't get OBS on my other channel. I just stream through a webcam, and technically we are streaming with OBS. I see myself. It is working. Let's do an audio check. And for some reason, technically we are streaming. Okay, audio check is all good. We see ourselves, and we should be all set. So, welcome everybody. Sorry for the first 43 seconds. Let us begin with Kubera's news. But before we begin, I just wanted to say that the quality will improve. I'm looking in the Twitch stream categories and YouTube categories on Reddit, and I found some cameras. I found some audio equipment that I will be saving up for. So this summer we will have an improvement. I'm not sure what to save up for first. Obviously, this is extremely expensive. It comes with the pop filter. It comes with everything ready. And this was recommended to me by multiple people who said, do not get USB cabled microphones and webcams. So that is a step up. We're not going to get that first, but I'm thinking maybe a green screen or a better camera, a webcam camera that's going to be like $200. Green screen's also going to be $200. So it's like, which first $200 investment are we going to get? The green screen might be nice because I might have crypto news in the background and be showing you the prices, and maybe in the future get into TA a little bit, just a little bit, dabble into that. And a light, because right now my face doesn't look the best. It's just like there, and we have really bad lighting. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be improved. But let's discuss about cryptocurrency today. And this one is a fan favorite, Craig Grant and Trevon James. Oh, yes, it has been a while since I pronounced those two names. And Craig Grant technically is still Craig Grant now, but he goes by Artie Intel. So I have no idea what's going on with Artie Intel. However, Craig Grant is, well, he's a weird, interesting character that constantly reinvents himself, and he's been revealed as a scammer through multiple efforts, one of which, the most popular of which, was BitConnect. But one thing that really stands out is Trevon James and Craig Grant and all these other guys, Crypto Nick from BitConnect, they're still around. So they got hit with many lawsuits thanks to BitConnect, and there was a lot of stuff going from Steemit. But these two originally were on Steemit. They had large accounts, and they were dealing with 6-7 figures worth of crypto, and nothing happened to these guys. Unlike other BitConnect arrests in India and around the world, people who actually went to jail or they at least saw the light of court. I'm sure Trevon James did go to court, but Trevon James is running his channel, and now he's talking about 300,000% gains in Hex and promoting other projects, and other people are saying that he's a scammer in Hex. And it's like, wait, hold on. He's got a large channel, and he's always had that, but he's still able to talk about cryptocurrency every single week. I found him on Library. So we, by the way, did a YouTube sync, and you will be seeing Kubera on Library. One thing we shall check is whether we got some comments. We do have some comments, so let's pop out the chat. Unfortunately, we are using OBS, and OBS crashed with like the window capture option, so we're doing just a screen capture. So it still works, but I know it's kind of ghetto. Don't worry. First live stream within like 2 years on this channel. First live stream that I've been using OBS as well, since I don't really use OBS on the other on the other channel. So welcome, Human from Earth. Welcome, Joe, your boy, FLAA, Homer Simpson, and Crypto Bruh. Yeah, we'll show it. So we have to watch out because some comments, be respectful, by the way, some comments may be able to still pop out. And let's get that rolling like so. All right, be patient. There we go, perfect. Let us begin. Library. You shall see Kubera and my other channel on Library, and the reason for that is they offer a YouTube sync option. So if you're a normal YouTuber, over 1,000 subscribers or more, you're able to get a guaranteed annual rate. It used to be an annual rate, and it still technically is, but it's divided into monthly segments now. It's not a lot of money, but over 1,000 subscribers, and if they verify it, you're able to sync your videos over to there. I still don't have access to the library platform because it takes a few days to sync over there. So I signed up yesterday. It's Wednesday. It's now going to be almost 2 days because it's 10:49 p.m. And I signed up my other channel, and they said it can take up to 3, 4, 5 days. So we're going to see about that and how it works fully when I get my channel in. One thing that I'm a little bit worried about is unlisted and private videos because it's definitely syncing those. For my other channel, I only have around 180 public videos, and there's a lot of unlisted live streams, which I wouldn't want to go up because they're bad quality. That's why they're unlisted. And there's a lot of videos that are privated that were just uploaded as like demos or tests or private information. So hopefully Library lets me choose what content goes up immediately, because if it all went up and I wasn't able to remove it, I'd be a little bit worried. I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with Library. It was recommended to me. We're also going to be going to BitChute as well because there's been a lot of censorship on YouTube over the past 2-3 years. I felt it on the other channel. We also saw it with cryptocurrency channels. Human from Earth says they're using Hex to promote their unaudited smart contracts built on top of Hex. Trevon has led people into his own projects. They use the Hex token but aren't in any way affiliated with Hex itself. Similar to how Hex is built on Ethereum, Trevon's dApps are integrated with Hex. No direct affiliation there, bro. All right, so we're going to be looking into Hex. We're going to be looking into Trevon James, and that's, apart from Library, that's part of the reason I discovered Trevon James again. I forgot he completely existed. And I saw that he was promoting Hex. One of my commentators in a different live stream on my other channel mentioned Hex. I was asking about what projects I should look into. So I looked into Hex, and I typed it in. I typed in Hex scam just as I would with any project to see if there's anything going on. And this was the first link on Hacker Noon. So we have some interesting comments. It's quite a controversial article. Is Hex the most notorious scam in the history of cryptocurrencies? So I have read about half of the article. It's very, very weird. It goes into some details, but I am not going to form an opinion on Hex before I do more research, because this doesn't count as research. This was just one of the first articles that Hex is the most notorious scam, but anybody can write that. So we're going to look into it. Might be, might not. If you guys are familiar with Hex, if you support the project, let me know your opinion of it. If you're against it, let me know your opinion as well. Why would you be against it? Because I'm new to it. So we're going to discover it. There's a lot of research to do before I'm going to get into anything right now, because I'm obviously skeptical. So it took a while for me to look into Library itself. And the reason I kind of fell for it, I was like, all right, you know what? It looks kind of like Steemit. We got some old Steemit profiles in there, and it's mainly just Steemit for videos. So apart from the fact that they pay you monthly, whether you have a 1,000, 10,000, or 50,000 channel, so Kubera would fall into the 10,000, my other channel would fall into the 50,000 plus, and in total it's like $40 or $50 that they're going to be paying me in LBC library coins per month. And on top of that, if you guys or their viewers are able to give likes or view it, or I just interact with the platform, it's kind of like Steemit. You get paid a little bit here and there. So it's like an extra 100 or 150 bucks per month. That's pretty good. I looked into the CPMs, and a large YouTuber, he had over 700,000 subscribers. He has only 20,000 subscribers on Library because Library is pretty small. It's only got a few million users so far. It is growing, and that's nice. In a way, it's kind of growing exponentially because a lot more people are sitting at home right now. They're researching into crypto with the Bitcoin halving and all that going on. And it's nice to see. Hopefully it doesn't fall like Steemit. There was the whole Justin Sun from Tron scandal with Steemit, and Hive kind of going away from Steemit. So it's sad to see that happen, but maybe it's going to be a good platform. So still haven't formulated an opinion on it. Hopefully it doesn't crash and glitch out. One interesting character that isn't a scammer that I completely forgot about, but used to have a fairly large Steemit is Jerry Banfield, and he has a fairly large YouTube channel and a fairly large Facebook account. He has over 2.3 million followers on Facebook and nearly 300,000 subscribers. And yeah, he's got some great videos from a few years back, but his channel is one of the more weirder channels that's not a scammer like Craig Grant. He's kind of off in his own world, I guess. And you know, I get that he's building a business, but it's just a little sad to see that his latest videos for such a channel, like people were talking about my channel with 80,000 subscribers, that it's dead and it's, getting 1,000 views or even 2,000 views per video. This guy is still uploading, and I like that. He's putting a lot of effort in, but it's all over the place. He was talking about Linux before, he was talking about video games, now he's talking about like Adobe Edition and how to sell online courses and how to make money online and crypto and how to sign up for this and how to edit your Photoshop videos and Udemy courses, and it's just like all over the place, right? So if you became a subscriber, no wonder that his videos are getting like 200 views or 218 or even less, like 148, 142. I have no idea what Zapier Paths is. He's talking about free coupons. He's talking about SEO. He's talking about TikTok. He's talking about everything. By the way, TikTok link in the description. Made a Kubera crypto TikTok. So it's just sad to see that. Maybe he's making good money. I have no idea. But that was an interesting character from Steemit. So good old Steemit days. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not able to log into Steemit because they don't want to accept my old password, the keys. So for like over a year, I haven't been able to log into Steemit. But as we see, the top rates, the most popular post, $86, $42, $36, $36. It used to be like $1,000 or more that you'd see. You'd see even posts that were cryptocurrency platforms to be. Send that in the description right there. So let me know about, hey, Pass the Bleach. And you are, yeah, I'm not going to show that comment, but people can still technically see that comment. Welcome, Joe. Joe, thumbs down, Pass the Bleach. He's going to be hating Joe over there. English to me, welcome, welcome. Human from Earth, to get people to get into Hex. Trevon has a sneaky, deceitful way of marketing his own dApps. He has around 4 that accept Hex. Since they require Hex token to enter his dApps, he instead promotes Hex itself. This is equivalent to shilling Ethereum to get people onto Hex. So it's not the worst thing to do, but it's still pretty Charles Fuchs, if I can... Are you from Las Vegas? If I remember, you were from Steemit. If so, if that is who you are, if I remember correctly, my memory's pretty bad. Welcome. Thank you for joining the live stream. You are also on Steemit, and you're saying library user interface kind of sucks. Well, it's not the best. The Steemit interface wasn't the best as well. Steemit glitched out. And the ultimate failure of Steemit, what kind of turned me away from it, besides the price going down and glitches and people kind of leaving the platform and the scandals, was DTube and DLive. DTube completely failed me, and a lot of people were like, oh yeah, upload to DTube, but it glitched out. I wasn't able to upload videos, and even if I did upload a video, I would press play and it would buffer weird and it just wouldn't load correctly. It wasn't at the speed that YouTube was. And no platform will be able to replace YouTube because YouTube is this giant beast that's been around for so many years, and certain updates are making it better. So I have a lot of hope for it because YouTube has given me some more control over the past few months. Thanks to the pandemic, they've given new features about monetization, and I have a little bit more control discovering why certain videos are getting taken down and demonetized. But there are certain videos that I'd like to post outside of YouTube, which might be great for library or BitChute, especially on my other channel where it's controversial. And what does worry me is there's a lot of cryptocurrency channels that aren't able to fully go into certain topics because there's been channels that have been banned for no reason. They've been re-uploaded. However, it's not perfect because when I had one of my channels banned, the main channel was too controversial, when they unbanned me, and it was their mistake, and they admitted to their mistake, all my videos, all my old videos somehow lost the high definition quality. So not only does the algorithm get triggered, and if your channel gets banned, it takes weeks and weeks for the videos to be crawled again. and for them to show up in recommended playlists. And some of them didn't even, some people got unsubscribed, but some of the videos just never turned up in HD. So you've got hundreds of videos, which half of them are privated, that are in SD, 240p quality. Who's going to watch that? It's an old video, yes, but it was uploaded in 1080p quality. Every platform has its downs and ups, but one thing that I'm absolutely fascinated about is Craig Grant. The other individual we were talking about, Jerry Banfield, I don't think he's ever done anything bad. Maybe he shilled a few projects here and there before, but he never was a scammer. And a lot of people associate Craig Grant as a scammer. And what is absolutely fascinating is I went to his main channel, and he's got 2 channels right now, apart from other stuff which was under his Arty Intel. It's very strange. Like when I typed in Arty Intel, this video came up, and we're not going to play the audio because I don't want to get copyrighted. But this video came up, and it's like a music. It's not a music video. It's just a song that he made. I don't even know if he made it, but I guess he's a musician, and he has this weird video format where it's like, hello, oh yes, bouncy houses today. Yeah, so he has a bouncy house business that I guess he had before crypto, and he's still doing. And he's always had like this weird vibe where he doesn't care about editing his videos. He doesn't have thumbnails. I know I've been slacking on the thumbnails recently, but he's never cared about thumbnails. He's never cared about the titles. And people view these weird bouncy castle videos, and it makes me wonder, like, why is this guy not in jail? Like, if he did have a lawsuit against him and he did steal or, scam hundreds of thousands of dollars out of BitConnect, and, there's people who lost millions and millions of dollars because there's thousands of victims from BitConnect. How is this guy still able to operate a business, first of all? And in one of his videos on Library, I think this is it, here we have his Ford Explorer. I think that's an Explorer. And inside, while he was driving, he had a pretty, it looked decent. It looks like he has a great car. I'm sure there's some money coming in from bouncy houses. I don't want to be disrespectful because there are some weird business ideas that are able to bring in money. But I'm sure that Ford, or I don't know, it's just so weird. Like Trevon James still has thousands of dollars staked in Library and thousands of dollars in other cryptocurrencies. And it's like, didn't that money come from BitConnect, or did they lose it all? And I don't know, it's sketchy. It's weird, shady stuff. So I am just absolutely fascinated with this journey because Trevon James still kind of tries and keeps it normal. Like it's still crypto, but Craig Grant is the more interesting individual of the two because he just completely deleted all of his videos. So all of his videos related to cryptocurrency and BitConnect, that's gone. And he didn't take the Crypto Nick approach of just deleting his channel entirely, but he left it up and he acted like everything's fine, like it didn't even exist. So he's got 2 channels. This one had 68,000. I love how he puts his like family in there, and it's like a fun, family-friendly business. Like, all right, he was a scammer for a while, so I don't know. Very interesting. Remember the good old days of Laser Online exit scam and BitConnect lawsuit, BitConnect final delisting, Trevon James BCC pump. We had also Control Finance. Oh, here's Jerry Banfield. Yeah, so the good old days. This was from 2 years ago. Wow, he had an EOS scandal. So Laser Online, Control Finance fell really quickly. Laser Online was fun. It was a lot more fun to discuss than BitConnect, sorry. But Laser Online fell way before. And the guy from Laser Online as well, we did a video on him. He's still in Ukraine. And of the 2 cases, being a scammer in the US for BitConnect or being a scammer, maybe he was the CEO, Bodai Klomp of Laser.online, and there was other websites that were later associated, or whether he was a paid actor or whatever. He lives in Ukraine where there's a lot of corruption, so if you did have money, you'd be able to pay off the cops, the judges, even the anti-corruption units in Ukraine were found out to be corrupt. So it is a country where you can get away with things. And I was in Ukraine. I saw how it works. It's a very, very strange place. So we got out of paying a ticket. It was a little bit of an expensive lesson, but it got me thinking, like, if you're able to get out a ticket, how is the corruption looking like in other areas? So I did some research, and holy moly, there's been a lot of judges and cops that were arrested for corruption. So they're doing these arrests to try and make it seem like everything's okay, but it's still a corrupt place. So out of the two countries, Ukraine or America, Ukraine is obviously the better place for a scammer like Bodai Klampf to live. But in America, these guys I don't get it. It's just so strange. It's the weirdest phenomena ever. Anyways, Joe S., welcome. I hope everything is good. Yes, BitConnect cost me $2.6 thousand, says Hans. I'm sorry to hear that. On live, speaking on the life of two grown men, Austin AJ9. Well, that's exactly what this is. A live stream about two individuals, two businessmen, two savvy affiliate marketers from BitConnect. Oh yeah, buy BitConnect. I remember when I did BitConnect videos, and there was people who were hating on the BitConnect videos because they were BitConnect supporters. And to all the people who lost money through BitConnect, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure you weren't that type of person, but there were some loud individuals out there that would hate every video going against BitConnect. Any video that called it to be a scam, they'd be like, no, it is perfect. Everything's fine. I'm getting paid. It's not a scam. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So very interesting what happened. I'm just, I flabbergasted. But hey, they're on our library. We'll see them there. So let's explore AI. Oh Jesus, this is the thing about Craig Grant. He's like, it's like he smoked some DMT or whatever, because he's all spiritual and he talks about Jamaica and all of this, and I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Let's go back to his other channel, because this one's Craig Grant, Craig One's son. The previous channel was a little smaller, and he also had these floatable, whatever, his bouncy house business. If it loads, my internet's a little bit slow today, even though we discussed with the ISP. Unfortunately, we're not able to stream in a higher quality, and my laptop's kind of, but there we go. Craig Grant now. Here's a nice profile banner of selling popcorn. Hey, they got the gloves, so that's great. Craig Grant now. Oh, yeah. All the best that he's actually doing a good business, unless it's a front for money laundering. You never know. So, yeah, that's his other channel. However, if you type in, where was it? Craig Grant. Here we are on his library. He's doing the same thing on like Steam It. He would post these weird random clips. Alligators and snakes, $20 in 2020. Magic. Oh, that is like a classic Craig Grant right there. RT Intel Craig Grant. If you type that in, that's from his old apartment, I think. He had this weird thingy where Jesus Christ, about the Illuminati. I don't know if I'll be able to find it right now, but Craig Grant had some very strange posts discussing about like spirituality. I don't think I'll be able to find it right now. Anyways, of the two, Trevon James is operating like everything would be normal. He's still getting a fair amount of likes on his videos. So if you go to his newer videos, they're still getting good views. They're still getting probably good monetization. And it seems like everything's all good over on his front. So of the two, Craig Grant completely went away from crypto, other than library and maybe some other, facets that he doesn't use his name on, or he changed his name. But Trevon James is acting like everything's A-okay. So that's interesting. He's got 183 to 48 dislikes. Yeah, sure, he's got a fair amount of dislikes. But we don't have any comments, any of the front comments. We don't have anything about BitConnect. So after some time, people just forget, Hans, it was a good lesson. BitConnect was like the Titanic, Polish internet. Oh, yes. But ironically, Polish internet is much better than a lot of other European countries. And in certain areas of America, it's a lot better. The only problem is I moved to a different city, and I don't get this, but some buildings, it's a monopoly. It's just like Comcast. Some buildings are only under one company. I didn't want to go with this company. Unfortunately, it was my only option. I knew the company was going to be bad, but they're throttling, obviously. Even now, after I called in, the internet before was even worse, where I was getting below 1 megabit. I'm paying for 600 megabit. 660. So that's a weird deal right there because usually it would be like 600, 300. I know one's always going to be lower than the other. Like when it was 1 gig, it was like 200, so it wasn't the best deal. But 660 is pretty bad because that's what they advertise. But they're always going to give you half or less, right? So if it gave me 330, all right. But they gave me like 50, and that's what we're at right now, 50, 60, so around 10% what we're paying for. So it's not that all Polish internet companies suck. It's just this one's behaving like a Comcast. This one in particular is called Vectra. Vectra has a lot of bad reviews. His YouTube channel partner with Carlos Matos. Oh my goodness. I forgot about this individual too. Carlos Matos, out of all those people, seemed like the victim because he kind of got screwed. I don't know his true financial situation. Maybe everything's okay, but let's see. Hans. I'm doing well, my friend. No big deal. Not many participants in the chat. Joe, no worries about that. The thing about live streams, we have a few people in here right now. On my other channel, it's usually a little bit more. But sometimes it gets overwhelming because I'm still able to read these comments. On the other channel, there's way too many comments at certain moments. At the very beginning, it's fine, but there's a lot of comments I just don't glance through at the right time. So Carlos Matos has 4,000 subscribers. Hey, he's still doing, wow, he's doing water fasting for 40 days. What? What? Jeez. This man's a funny man. But it seems like he didn't actually have a lot of money because he keeps recording from like bad neighborhoods. So, I hope all the best for him if he did get screwed by BitConnect and he did have a lot of money, like the amount that he said during his BitConnect speech. If he lost all that, it wasn't all that much money compared to other people who had even more in the system. But maybe for him, that was his entire life savings. Who knows? So if he was a victim, if he lost his money, I'm happy that he's still uploading and he's doing water fasting for mental and spiritual growth. Hey, he's got a lot of likes, no dislikes on the video. So I'm not going to give him a dislike. I rarely dislike videos, seriously. I try and give a good amount of likes to the channels I'm subscribed, and there's usually 1 or 2 channels I find per week that are always new and upcoming. In crypto, there's always some new channels. But hey, he's got some good views. This one has 100,000 views. This one's from last year, and that was the truth about BitConnect. But the greatest comeback from Carlos Matos. Hey, all right, all the power to him. So we're super mago Latino. No offense, but you should have seen BitConnect exit scamming a mile away, Hans. I said past the bleach. Listen, there's some signs. Usually it comes from the weird advertisement. There's a lot of red flags, but if you're new to crypto, if you're new to investing, maybe Hans was new, who knows? It was a painful lesson, just like I've had many painful, expensive lessons, like the time I got scammed by the guy who was renting out sports cars, and that was a very expensive lesson. And that hurt me a little bit more than if I lost it through, a digital means. Like when I lost my crypto, that hurt a lot. And it hurts for a lot longer because I'm in debt now and everything's, kind of where it is. But having the cash physically right in front of you and then losing it a few days later because you realize that he's not going to give it back to you and you have to take him to court and you got to go to a lawyer, that was a really, really bad experience. But hey, it is experience that you're able to use to protect yourself against future mistakes. So if you've lost money to thieves, to scammers, to even if it was a dumb mistake, like you forgot the password to your crypto wallet, it was an expensive mistake, especially if crypto's going up now. But you learn from these mistakes and hopefully you don't repeat them again. If you do, if you keep repeating it, maybe it's time to find something else. Hex itself is a decentralized and immutable version of the traditional certificate of deposit service that banks offer today. The contract has been audited by independent parties with no evidence of any type of malicious code or backdoors. Human from Earth, are you, it seems like you're a supporter of the project. Do you support it? Do you have some Hex? There was also Hex 2 that I saw Trevon James was discussing about. I saw Trevon Bitcoin prediction a few weeks ago. Yeah, so some people were discussing, I was looking through some of his videos, that Trevon was just doing Bitcoin predictions, and when everything's going up, you got a lot of people who get their predictions right. There was some weeks where it was a little bit tumultuous due to the economy falling apart and this black swan situation, which a lot of people couldn't really predict. But hey, Wes B. So, question: how are you making money in crypto? Me. Well, Library will be the first crypto I'll get apart from Bitcoin. I got paid in Bitcoin, and that was the video that I went to the Bitcoin ATM. So I used the Bitcoin ATM twice, and that was within the past 2 months. So that was from a friend and a partner of mine. He was paying me in Bitcoin, but immediately I would cash it out. It was just a payment, right? It was just a transaction. It was easier than PayPal. It was only 4%, and for tax reasons and all that other stuff. It wasn't a lot, so it was only a few hundred bucks here and there. But I guess that counts. But Library is the first crypto that I'll get, and most likely I'll put it into Tether or Bitcoin, depending on what's going to happen within the next month or two. It's not going to be a lot, like I said, 50 to 100 bucks per month. But currently, I'm not invested in crypto, and the reason for that is I'm investing all my time and energy that I can into crypto to still support it, to still make videos about it, and while I make the videos, I kind of educate myself on the situation, because if you're not in it, if you're distracted by other things like video games or work or school or whatever else, you don't really sit that much into crypto. You might, look through the news and you might invest in it, but you're just going to see the price go up and go down, and that's it. At max, you're going to spend an hour or two with crypto per day. And I think what's really important is looking through the news articles, seeing what kind of pops out at you, seeing what aspects of crypto you like, what you don't like, the scandals, the drama, just looking into it a little bit and having that on a daily or weekly basis, because crypto is dominated by rumors sometimes, where one rumor on Twitter can suddenly translate into billions of dollars in losses or gains. For example, this isn't about crypto, but the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, he's had a very interesting week, and that was one of my most viewed videos earlier this week, where he tweeted that the price of Tesla is too high. So I think that, plus the fact that the economy kind of took a swing towards the negative side over there, was the reason that many investors lost thousands of dollars in Tesla. Now, should they have been more spread out? Yes. But it's also a weird situation where the CEO of a company says the price is too high. So obviously the company's stock kind of fell down a little bit. I don't think it's long term, but there's certain things, it's just like one tweet. How could you prepare for that? You can't. It just happens. So the only way you can know about this stuff is just refresh the news, go on social media and see what people are talking about it, their opinions, and kind of formulate your own opinion on it on a daily basis, because it changes constantly. You might go to sleep and boom, everything's screwed. Man, hex 100 times. I dumped lost this week, says Charles Fuchs. It's been a while. So I think I read all the comments from there. English to me. Thank you for the $2 donation. You're the first Super Chat donation on Kubera this year, and probably last year as well, since we've been doing live streaming. So you are the first Super Chat donation on Kubera since 2018. I might be wrong, but I think that's it. Can you tell us your favorite Bitcoin gambling sites? Unfortunately, I thank you for your donation. Very well appreciated. Unfortunately, I don't gamble, or maybe that's fortunate. I don't gamble. So the only times I've ever gambled was I went on for my other channel for a video. I thought it would be funny if I went to a DW market and there was a lottery over there and it was in Bitcoin. So I thought, I might as well just play it, right? So I played that once or twice. I bought like tickets. I lost, didn't gain anything. And I went to a casino once in Mexico and once in Poland, and I lost like a few dollars. So it was fun. It was a cool experience. I wanted to see how it was like. Also in America, I bought some lottery tickets. And in Poland, I bought some lottery tickets. I forgot about the Polish lottery tickets. So I actually bought a fair amount in Poland. It was like $100. That was when I was feeling really depressed. I got a lot of tinnitus anxiety, and I kind of lost a bunch of money. I was like, oh, let's just buy $100. Let's see if I'll get lucky, whatever. I didn't. So I gained I got like 10% of that back. And that's why I don't go to Bitcoin gambling sites. And one reason I don't is, first of all, I know how it works where just investing, most people lose money after a certain while. So many people get lucky and they get out at the right time, and that's great. You hear those stories because they're very positive. They go on YouTube, they're constantly talking about it, and that story sticks around for years. While the negative stories still stick around for years, but most people aren't interested in that until you've had your own losses and you can relate to that. So few people look into that out of sheer curiosity until it happens to themselves. The ones who do are smart, they're wise, and they learn from other people's mistakes. Listen, gambling is if you're an adult, if you're responsible with your money, it can be fun. I'm not going to say anything like, oh, you shouldn't gamble, you can't gamble. Just gamble responsibly, right? So since I don't gamble like at all, I don't have any Bitcoin gambling sites. And there is one in the link in my description, but that's just kind of like an affiliate thing that I've had since like the very beginning of this channel. So I don't even know. I should probably update the descriptions. That is a lazy move, but we have to update the descriptions. Go through all those links, see what's outdated, see what's not. And I had that in there because one of my buddies was big into Bitcoin gambling in 2017, but he would throw in a Bitcoin. So that would be a heavy hand to throw in. He would throw in a Bitcoin and he'd lose a Bitcoin. And Bitcoin back then, this was before the pump, but a Bitcoin back then was around what it was worth right now, maybe a little bit less, so like $7,000 per Bitcoin, and he'd like lose $7,000. He wasn't a whale, but he had a fair amount of money. And I don't know if he was able to lose that or maybe it was just a habit of his. But for me, that was very weird because it's kind of like a credit card. When you go to the store, it's a completely different sensation when you have $10,000 in front of you, or even $100 in front of you stacked in tens, or pennies, and you get the change or whatever, and then you just swipe your credit card because the credit card's like that, it's done. And you get even further desensitized, removed from that when you're paying with Bitcoin because you don't see it at all. You just see a transaction, wire it, boom, it gets confirmed. So for me, it was a weird situation where I went onto these gambling sites and I saw other people apart from my friend back then who were doing even higher bets, like 10 Bitcoin or whatever, and they'd lose it. And I know they probably had to have good money, but some of those guys maybe didn't have that money. Maybe they took it out on loan. And that's a weird situation. You don't want to be taking loans for gambling. Anyways, I know I'm talking about like gambling rants and stuff. I wanted to go fully in depth with that question because it's a good topic for a video actually, why I don't gamble and why I wouldn't recommend it, but I can't really say too much bad things about it. Just gamble responsibly because it's an adult thing. It's kind of like investing. I made some mistakes with investing. You took an L. Boo-hoo. All right, well, whatever. We're going to go back through the comments to make sure I didn't miss anything. And apart from that, I don't think, so English to me, hopefully you were in there while still I was discussing about that. We got Richard Hart in the chat. Who is Richard Hart? I'll look up Richard Hart. I don't know if that's somebody popular. Richard Hart. From Hex. Okay. Let's see. Program to Pump. Is that the guy who's behind it? What the heck? So look at Richard Hart's controversy. I think that is. Okay. Now we're a little bit more familiar with that. So, life's a gamble. Musk has mental problems. I think many millionaires have a variety of mental problems, right? I need to be desensitized to trade. That is true. The people who take that emotion or remove it away from the trading are able to trade a little bit better. I heard Elon Musk did that so you can buy Tesla stock cheaper. That could be true as well, although if he did, he already has a lot of SEC issues, so I don't know under even worse scrutiny than in 2018 how he'd be able to get away with that. Maybe he just had enough. Maybe it was a legitimate tweet that I was like, maybe it is too high. That's it. Maybe he just doesn't care. Because at a certain point, some of these billionaires do go spiritual hippy-dippy, right? They got, he had like $25 billion last time. I know most of that's on paper, but anyway, it's very interesting. All right, guys, I'm going to end the live stream in 5 minutes. I'm going to post it as a video. So for all the people who didn't come into a live stream, it's going to serve as the first video live stream that we've had on Kabera in a while. and we will do more crypto live streams. So when the Bitcoin halving happens, we might do a Bitcoin halving live stream. That would seem pretty fun, I'd guess, and see how things go over there. But I will do a live stream on my other channel. So if you follow both channels, you'll see me on there within the next 10-15 minutes. Today I was playing around with Streamlabs, and in future live streams, there's still a lot of features I have to learn about Streamlabs. In future live streams, hopefully by the summertime, within the next month or two, you'll be able to see your comments. Instead of like the weird screen share and pop-up chat over here, you'll be able to see your comments on the screen, and any donation will like trigger a little thing, so I automatically am notified by it. But again, thanks for the $2. How did you lose everything? How much you sell your Rolex for? So that's a very interesting question. The Rolex, let's start with that. Not every Rolex, for example, gold Rolexes, at most gold watches on the higher end scale. Tylko tutaj jest kamera. Okay. So most higher end watches in gold usually are overpriced to begin with, and that's why you have a $25,000 Rolex that after a year of usage goes down to $23,000, $22,000, maybe even as worse as $18,000. So watches get scratched easily, and gold isn't as tough as certain other materials used. And that's also another reason it kind of depreciates in value. Also, it depends what model of watch it is. Not every watch will depreciate as badly. Some will appreciate in value. If it's limited, for example, the Submariners, the Hulk Submariners, the green, half green, or the Pepsi bezels, or their Coca-Cola. There are some very interesting limited edition ones. It also depends on the country you're based in. For example, in the UK, also with Rolex, it is a lot more difficult to get a certain type of Submariner than it was in Switzerland, where they produced the Rolexes. And I know it's kind of like this fake demand, so people are more hyped up about releases. It's kind of like easy, it's controlled supply. But it does work. And to ship it, you have taxes to deal with. So I had an interesting situation where, as an American with an American passport, but also being a dual citizen of a European country, I was able to say that under my US passport, yes, I am going to get a tax refund on my watch. I can't remember the exact price. I had it in a Rolex video, but the Submariner costs like $8,600. Either that was the price after taxes were removed, or that was where it was to begin with, and then taxes were removed later on, so it was like $8,000. I think it was probably $9,000 something, and then $600, $700, $800 was removed from taxes. That's how I was able to get my watch to appreciate in value, because when I took it back to Poland, as an American with that tax refund, like if I went there with a Polish passport, I wouldn't have gotten that tax refund because I would have been in the EU, and that only applies if you're outside of the EU. So you don't have to be American. That was just an example. That's how I was able to save a few $100s. And I had to confirm that at the Zurich airport. So while I was flying out of the country, I was like, yes, I bought the watch. They checked whether it's counterfeit or not. And then I had the watch for a few months. I wore it. I loved it. Absolutely fantastic watch. And the Submariner, the steel Submariners, at the time were going up in value. I still don't know whether they are going up in value. I know there was kind of a Rolex inflation and like bubble period where some people were saying it's going to go down. Wasn't keeping track of that over the past year. Maybe it's already burst or whatever, but at the time I was able to sell my Rolex for a profit even after it was used, even after it was scratched. And it's kind of like rare old coins. With watches, you have two options. After it's scratched and used, you can get it polished, but if you do get it polished, it removes a layer of the steel. It removes a layer from the watch. And every single time you polish, it makes it weaker and weaker and weaker. So you're able to do that either with Rolex with their guarantee, and they had a 5-year guarantee on it, or you could do it with some other agent, but it would reduce the value. And I decided, you know what, it costs a couple $100, first of all. And I think someone who's really invested into a Submariner really appreciates Submariners like I did. would be okay with scratches because the scratches are going to happen anyways. They would happen because it was waterproof watch. You know, you're walking outside the pool, or you're closing the shower doors, and it would like hit the shower door handle. Or one time I was walking up the stairs, and just like that, my hand hit there. The steel would, right? And it's scratches, but there was a pretty large scratch. I showed the pictures. I went to Krona24.com. It was a nice watch reselling website. And someone messaged me from Poland. There was a lot of people that wanted it, but I held on to it. And I thought, well, you know, I'm not in a rush to sell it. But eventually a lawyer contacted me, and it was a birthday gift or whatever for his wife. They came in, we met at Starbucks, and he paid, even after it was used, I made a few $100s profit. A few $100s profit. I forgot how much, like $500, $600, $400, whatever. Profit, with it being all scratched up and used for a few months off of the original price. So I realized if it was new, with all the labels, everything, it probably could have been $1,500 profit. You know, it is what it is. I didn't buy the watch as an investment. I bought it because it was cool, and I've always wanted that. It was kind of a dream for me to buy it. So even after I sold it, which was very difficult, even though it was a profit, it was one of the few things I don't regret buying because it was a profit. So that few $100s actually paid for my rent. That few $100s was worth 1 month's rent. So I was always wearing something on my wrist that let me know that, hey, no matter what happens, I have the next 12 months of rent paid for. And I actually used that money. With the Rolex, it was an interesting thing because I was able to also get a loan on the Rolex before I sold it. So that's why I held on to it. I used it for a few months, but I held on to it for a period of 6 months. And I used the loan, it was a family loan, to pay for 6 months upfront for an apartment to rent it out. And I was able to negotiate the apartment price down a little bit. So that's always nice to do. Somebody asked me on Facebook today what to do if you have a bad credit score. And I told them, like, sometimes you're able to negotiate if you pay up front. And it just reminded me of that situation. Other things you could do is find a landlord who doesn't work with a large company and you're able to pay up front for 2-3 months instead, or just make sure the security deposit's higher, or get a co-signer who has a better credit score than you, or just build the credit score up while you sublet. But the watch was interesting, and again, it's not going to happen with every watch, but I was able to ultimately get rid of it, even though it was used, and that was one of the coolest things ever. The Louis Vuitton, all the Gucci, all that other stuff. You know, I don't want to wear that again. I'm up for wearing suits in the future, but I wear t-shirts, I wear flip-flops, I wear, you know, my outfits are not color coordinated right now, and I could truly care less. So I'm kind of glad, even though it was a painful lesson, every single time I had to sell something from Louis Vuitton, like the last two designer things I have that I'm trying to sell is like this Versace shawl that I bought for like $300, $400, and I'm trying to sell it for like $40, right? And a Louis Vuitton tie that I'm also trying to sell for like $20, $30 or whatever. In Poland, I know it's a little bit more difficult to sell because people don't really buy that. But, and there's a lot of counterfeit stuff. I don't have the receipts to these two, unfortunately. So that's why they're the only two things I have left that are kind of like designer that are difficult to sell. And after that is gone, I'm so happy I got rid of it, because never buy that stuff. It depreciates quicker than this right here, a nice Ferrari. It depreciates much quicker than that. It also is material. It will break after a few months even. It's going to be worth much, much less. And so I told you guys 5 more minutes, but I'm going to still stay on and answer all your questions. I answered the individuals, the Rolex. So the Rolex I sold, I can't remember, but it was probably $9,000 plus if I got it $8,000. And what did help was the tax refund. So if I didn't have the tax refund, I'd probably break even. But even though it was a used, so even without the tax refund, and even if it was used, maybe if I found a lucky sell, a lucky buyer, and I got really lucky with the sale, I might have been able to profit $100. But if it was completely new, if I didn't wear it, I'd still be able to profit out of it. Life's a gamble, as Joe says. So how did you lose everything? Most of it was through risky ICOs. ICOs paid me for sponsored videos. and I'd hold on to the coins. Some I would sell at the very beginning, but then I got greedy because I saw that some of the coins that I sold still went up. And I was like, oh no, I'm holding on to everything now. So some of you guys who invested thanks to those videos and live streams that I did like with Indahash and other companies, B-Token, yeah, everything went down. Bitcoin didn't go as hard down as these other companies. For those people who were unfortunately displeased or with like travel block or other stuff, don't worry. I stayed. It was like the Titanic. I was like the captain of the ship. I stayed on, and it sunk, and we hit $50,000 debt. So good times, good times. Yeah, still feeling the effects like 3 years later. Yeah, yeah, it's like a little bit of trauma. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was a lot of money lost. Most of it was lost through Indahash. Indahash went down. Let's check this out. This was always so painful for me. Let's go to CoinMarketCap because you guys can see it. This is fun. Which, by the way, remember Kubera Coin? Those guys deleted a video of mine because I made a video that says Kubera Coin. I didn't make Kubera Coin. It just took my name, right? I had no idea what Kubera Coin was. It was an SHI coin. And Kubera Coin, out of curiosity, I searched it up, what it was valued. Those guys took down a video for community guidelines where I just showed the website. You know, most of these guys had a white paper on the website with the team's faces on it. And one of the team members didn't want their face shown. So they striked the video. I appealed. YouTube rejected the appeal, and I lost a few thousand views. And I had a similar situation with Laser Online. They also strike the video of mine. And it's like, all right, Laser Online fell. But Kubera Coin, why is Kubera Coin not even... Let's see, Kubera Coin CNC. Is it on CoinMarketCap? It is. KBR, there we go. Kubera Coin fell down completely. So it is worthless. It's 0.000111, not even a penny, not even close. The market cap is $12,000, which is terrible. It's like zero. So we can see that at the highest, the market cap was, we have 5 million, we have $7.5 million there market cap. That was probably just pumped up. But the guys who were behind the company might have made a few $100,000 if they got out. Lucky, maybe they made 50,000. Who knows? They're probably from India or whatever, so that was probably a lot to them. But I'm just happy to see that this company fell down completely. It has nothing to do with my crypto channel, and there's not even data for their ROI. But Indahash is a fun one. So we have Kubera Coin. It doesn't even say which ranking it is. Yeah, because they don't even know the volume of it. Because there is no volume. It's not being traded anywhere. Indahash is closer to a penny, but it's 0.002. So 1/5 of a penny. It's up by 17.27%. And the market cap is under $1 million, which is pretty terrible because Indahash raised like $60 million. They raised $40 million, but with Ethereum and the price of everything kind of going, it was all going on through November, December, January, and February. Around that time, the prices were so volatile that the $40 million that they raised was worth $60 million at one point, right? Mainly through Ethereum. So most of Indahash is in circulation out of the 400 million. Market cap is below $1 million. The volume is only $500. If you go to statistics, you see the ROI minus 99.36%. So you lost like 99+% on your investment. The highest market cap at the very, very beginning was 80 million. Wow. 80,147,000. And then around here is where I started losing a lot of money. So at the very beginning, I have no idea even how much Indahash coin I had, because at the very beginning I was paid $8,000. And they did like an airdrop as well, or something happened where I got more, and suddenly $8,000 was worth $30,000. That was before they listed. And a lot of the influencers had that. So I was supposed to get paid $4,000 for a video and $4,000 for a live stream. And then I also bought 1 or 2 Ethereum worth of Indahash myself, so a few $100s, because I believed into it. And I thought it was pretty cool, but you know, I was blindsided. Why would anybody need a cryptocurrency for some social media platform? They're still existing. Like the Indahash company is doing just fine. They had campaigns with Pepsi, and things are okay. That's, by the way, a pretty cool tool for Google Chrome. Shows you how much time you have left before your death. IndaHash, influencer marketing app. So the app's doing just fine, and they probably took that $40 million, immediately sold it from Ethereum, and maybe they had like $30 million because they celebrated with a few million. Maybe they had $30 million that they pumped into the company, or maybe $25 million or $20 million, and the company's doing just fine, right? So they have a lot of creators. They have a pretty big app. They've worked with a lot of companies. And I guess that's kind of what blindsided me, the fact that this was a pretty large company. They got 8 offices. They were close to, if I remember, 600,000 people registered at that time. Now it's like close to 1 million. And they had a lot of awards. So this is 2018, right? 2017, 2018, people were like, oh, wow, a lot of awards, a lot of offices, a lot of people, this big company, great. And they were able to raise a lot of money. They had a good influencer campaign, as they should. And ultimately, yeah, I had like, I don't know, 60,000, 70,000 at max with IndaHash, maybe $50,000 realistically. That was jumped up from the 30,000, and then it fell down. I ultimately sold at like $16,000 or $15,000, and I held it in Ethereum for a little bit because I thought Ethereum would go up, and then Ethereum fell down. And at this point, I had Bitcoin, I had Ethereum, I had other cryptocurrencies. What did I have? I had Cardano. I don't know if I had Stellar Lumens. I probably had Litecoin. I never had Bitcoin Cash. Never really cared about Bcash. I had a little bit of Steemit. I had a lot of other like random coins here and there. One of which, Cagitel, I lost the 17 tokens I had, and after I thought Cagitel would be a complete bust. A year or two after the crash, Cagitel turned out to finally actually go into fruition. Like, they achieved their goals, and Cagitel, my tokens ended up going from worthless to worth like 400, $500 or whatever, and then they fell down. But at a time, hey, that was kind of interesting to see. But most of my crypto, yeah, was reduced to rubble. And that happened with a matter of a few weeks. Most of it was gone. Like 1 week, I just lost like 70 grand. I woke up and and then I had credit card bills to pay because I kept most of my money in crypto, and I used credit cards to just pay off the monthly stuff because I was like, crypto's going to keep growing. Like, 50,000 is going to be turned into 500K. And that didn't happen. So, Ink95, he's probably posting under Ambien. Will there be an Avi? Yes, there will be an Avi live stream pretty soon, right after this. So we're going to end this. Yeah, thanks for the IndaHash recommendation. Plus, the CEO is pretty banging. Yeah, that was interesting. No, it was a fun experience. I got to meet some crypto influencers. We went out for sushi. We went out to some nice restaurants, and we chatted. And what I found out, I'm not going to reveal who made what, but there was a few people at that table sitting that night. Not the CEO, but few influencers who were making 6 figures. The highest of which was making $600,000, $700,000 from, a little promotion. I felt like, whoa, okay. So when you were seeing those numbers, that's why you can kind of like see why I was going like 50,000 needs to be turned into 500K. Because also with VibeHub, I had VibeHub where it was like $4,000. I sold it, then I saw that the tokens that I sold would be worth 25,000, and it would be worth like $1 million something. It was like just crazy. You see these crazy numbers. And I met people at a club in Miami that did actually make over $1 million out of VibeHub. One of my buddies made a decent amount of VibeHub, a couple $100,000 from VibeHub. And it happened. Like, you had proof that it was going on. But anyways, we learn. We learn from our mistakes. Who has higher taxes, Poland or U.S.? I think, honestly, I don't have enough knowledge to discuss this, but I think Poland in certain respects has higher taxes. For businesses, I think it has higher taxes. I'm not sure. But for individuals, I think U.S. might be higher. So when I worked at IKEA, we worked at IKEA. When I worked at IKEA, it was like 30% taxes. Čo? Kończymy live stream za minutkę, dwie, a co? I zaczynamy kolejny live stream. BitConnect. I was in Vibe 2. Really thought it was going places. The lessons. I mentioned on Avi, Vibe Hub really reminded me of what was going on with Fortnite. So I never played Fortnite in my life. I think it's a silly game, but we have to learn from these video games and these crazy events with these large influencers what's going on with the world. It really reminded me of Vibe Hub's mission. And I know it was different because it was VR, and in Fortnite, Travis Scott, a popular rapper, had a concert. And this concert was going on for 3 days. And the most amount of viewers he had was 12.3 million viewers. So 12.3 million people tuned in to see his concert live, technically, right? And I know they were designing it for a few months, but it reminded me of Vibe Hub's dream, where Vibe Hub, some of their first videos were like, oh yeah, VR concerts, right? So you have concerts, it's kind of like the holographs of 2001 with like Tupac and all that, but online. And I was like so hooked. I actually bought a VR myself, and I was like, wow, this is awesome technology. But then VR kind of went out the window, right? VR, AR, CF. And when the Fortnite event happened, I was like, wow, that is kind of like Vibe Hub's mission. So other companies will start incorporating that in the future. I think in the future we will have an artist who has a concert that has 50 million viewers or 100 million viewers. I don't know who that's going to be. But you haven't seen these numbers since like Michael Jackson, the king of pop, right? So this is absolutely crazy where we're going right now. And being someone who used to game a lot, I've never seen anything like that before. So I didn't go inside the game. I was just watching videos on YouTube. Honestly, if you're not a gamer, just type that in. If you haven't seen it, it is a weird and interesting and fun experience just to watch. It's like 8, 9, 10 minutes. It's a short concert. It goes through, like 1-2 minute snippets of his most popular songs, and he released a new song. So even if you're not into the music, even if you don't care about Fortnite, I encourage you to check it out because I think it's absolutely fascinating where technology has led us to. It's like 2020, it's the future. It is very cool. You just look at the numbers as a business alone. 12 million people. That's like Belgium. That's more people than the country of Belgium has as a population who watch simultaneously Travis Scott perform a concert. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I remember when you said you'd never buy designer clothes again when you were in Illinois. Yeah, I probably bought some other stupid stuff, but I stopped. I'm thinking, when did I go back to Illinois? Probably last year, 2019. Yeah, so I bought like one more thing after that. It was just this weird depression move, and now it's just like, what am I to buy it with, right? There's no money. Why don't you make a Discord or something? I used to have a Discord. We might be thinking of that. I saw some TikTokers using Discord channels. So I'm looking at the financial TikTok guys, and some of them are trying to create Discord channels. So we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. We shall see you guys maybe later this week. If you're interested in this live stream format, check out my other channel, Avi. I have it in the description on most of my videos. I don't think it's going to be on this live stream, but go to a recent video of mine. We're not uploading a video today on Kubera, so this was the video live stream. I will leave it up, so if you just joined in, you're able to watch it later, the full thing, or just skip around, and hopefully the live stream quality will improve as we will try and get a green screen, a ring light, a better webcam camera, because the MacBook camera sucks, and a better microphone. People told me not to get the Blue Yeti, so we're looking at more expensive mics, but I think that's going to be something that's like has to be saved up for like way, way, way later. But it's an investment, right? If it's going to improve the experience for you guys, I think audio is the most important because I could deal with a crappier camera, but audio, if it's really bad, maybe it's my tinnitus, maybe it's